There are moments in human history when an entire civilization seems to simply disappear. Not slowly, not gradually, but suddenly, overnight. Cities that once held tens of thousands of people become silent. Roads that were filled with merchants and families turn to dust. Temples that echoed with prayers collapse into ruins, with no signs of warfare, no mass graves, and no clear explanation for why everyone left. Tonight, we explore a mystery that spans thousands of years and three continents, a story of cities that vanished almost instantly, leaving behind nothing but questions. From the ancient clay brick labyrinth of Çatalhöyük to the massive earthen pyramids of Cahokia, to the grand stone temples of Angkor, humanity's past is filled with civilizations that went silent, as if the people living there decided, in a single moment, to simply walk away. This is the hidden history of the world's greatest disappearances and the theories that attempt to explain them. Our journey begins more than 9,000 years ago in what is now modern-day Turkey. Long before the pyramids, long before Stonehenge, and long before writing, there was a city unlike anything the world had seen, Çatalhöyük. At its height, Çatalhöyük was home to at least 10,000 people, making it one of the earliest true cities in human history. But what makes Çatalhöyük strange is not how old it is. What makes it strange is how it functioned. There were no streets, no central government, no palaces, no temples. The homes were packed together like honeycombs, with people entering through openings in the roof. To reach your neighbor, you walked across their house. And despite living in such close quarters, there are almost no signs of large-scale conflict. Çatalhöyük should have collapsed under its own population density, but somehow it thrived for more than 1,000 years. And then, just like that, the population declined rapidly, not over centuries, but in what archaeologists call a rapid depopulation event. There are no signs of invasion, no burn layers, no mass deaths. So why did the people leave? Some theories claim climate change made farming impossible. Others suggest disease spread through the tightly packed settlement. Another theory proposes social breakdown. Perhaps the very structure that made Çatalhöyük work for so long suddenly stopped working. But the truth is, we still don't know. And even stranger, many of the surrounding smaller settlements also emptied at the same time, as if the entire region participated in a coordinated withdrawal, a civilization thriving for a millennium, gone almost overnight. Deep in the forests of Cambodia lies Angkor, one of the largest pre-industrial cities in human history. Its famous temple, Angkor Wat, is just one part of a sprawling urban center stretching nearly 400 square miles. For centuries, Angkor was the beating heart of the Khmer Empire. Its power came from water, a vast network of canals, reservoirs, and embankments that allowed the empire to control agriculture, trade, and transportation. But in the 15th century, everything changed. In 1431, the city was abandoned as the Khmer court moved south. Traditionally, historians blamed a military invasion, but modern research reveals the story is far more complex. Tree ring data and sediment analysis show that Angkor suffered through decades of mega droughts interrupted by sudden catastrophic floods. The sophisticated water system that once fed the empire began to fail. Canals clogged, reservoirs cracked, and entire sections of the hydraulic network collapsed. Angkor, the greatest water empire on Earth, seems to have lost its lifeline in just a few decades. But environmental stress alone does not explain the sudden abandonment. The temples were not destroyed. The city was not burned. The population didn't die out. It dispersed. It appears that the decline of Angkor was not a single event, but a point where environmental pressures, political instability, and social transformation all aligned at the same moment. And then, almost instantly, the city that had stood for centuries became silent. What remains today are massive stone temples slowly being consumed by roots, vines, and time. 3 civilizations, 3 continents, thousands of years apart, and yet the same pattern: a thriving population, sophisticated engineering, long-standing cultural traditions, and then a sudden, rapid abandonment. So what connects them? Some researchers believe we are witnessing a recurring cycle in human behavior, a moment when a society reaches a tipping point. This tipping point may come from environmental stress, disease, resource depletion, political collapse, migration pressure, climate shifting, or a combination of many factors at once. But there is another theory. Sometimes societies don't collapse, they transform. People leave not because they cannot survive, but because they choose a different way of life. A city may vanish, but its people continue. The silence we find in abandoned ruins might not be a sign of death, but a sign of change. Studying vanished civilizations is not only about uncovering the past, it's about understanding how fragile complex societies can be. Çatalhöyük shows us that even the earliest cities can crumble quickly. Cahokia reveals how a powerful metropolis can fall without war or famine. Angkor demonstrates how human ingenuity can struggle against the forces of nature. And today, as modern cities face climate challenges, resource scarcity, and population pressures, these ancient stories feel less like distant myths and more like warnings. History does not repeat, but it rhymes, and the lessons of vanished civilizations echo louder than ever. Humanity has always been building cities, monuments, systems, civilizations, but just as easily, humanity has walked away from them. The ruins left behind are not failures, they're reminders. Reminders that even the greatest societies can disappear, sometimes slowly, sometimes suddenly, and sometimes in a single night. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the mysteries of our past, consider subscribing for more deep dives into the ancient world and the secrets it still holds.